We're a house-proud nation. However big or small, we put our heart and soul into our homes.
We absolutely love our house.
Tinkering with our spaces is something of a great British obsession. Some go the extra mile, creating their own personal castles.
I feel that the house appreciates everything we've done for it.
And who hasn't wanted to peek at what's going on behind closed doors?
And I like that. Not sure exactly what it is.
It's yin and yang, it's me and you.
Right?
Each week, we're visiting some of the country's proudest homeowners.
I just hope they come in and think, wow.
Deciding who deserves that accolade are none other than their neighbours.
Oh.
They will bring passion and skill to their judging.
So fluid and crisp and clean.
And between them decide
I just want it to be mine.
who has the best house in town. This week, we are in the historic city of St Albans and its surrounding area. Though built on the site of a Roman settlement, its popularity has not wavered over the millennia. Today, if the trains work, it's only 20 minutes to central London, making it a sought-after bolt hole for those escaping the rat race, as these 5 discerning St Albans residents well know. Each day this week, this team of property aficionados has been allowed behind the doors of different types of homes in the area.
Oh, we all love a little snoop around people's houses. I deliberately walk the dogs when it's just getting dark and the lights are still on, so I can have a good look, so we can all feel comfortable in the fact that we all love a good snoop.
Today, they're being handed the keys to 3 exceptional detached houses. An ultra-modern family home, a country lodge that's been given a new lease of life, and a 1970s house updated for the 21st century. These homeowners are proud of their property prowess and want to show off their achievements to this inquisitive judging panel of fellow locals.
What I'm most looking forward to in judging is seeing a whole range, a whole diversity of homes and seeing how individuals have brought their personal space to life.
I don't like when I go into a property seeing bad workmanship. Having a construction background, I think I'll be looking at the detail a lot more, and things maybe wouldn't be noticeable to the average person.
As with all the other categories this week, the prize won't just go to those who splashed the most cash. These nosy neighbours will have 3 key criteria. They're judging on the functionality of the home, the ambition of the interior design, and finally, that X factor, the element of surprise. The first detached house to come under scrutiny is just a few miles east of the city centre.
I'm excited to judge a detached house, to see how well the space is used. My style in interior design is very simple, and sometimes simple is very hard to get.
Randa needn't worry, as the first detached is all about design. This is a 6-bedroom home that took almost a year for owner Amanda to create from scratch.
I have always wanted to build my own home, and we were fortunate enough to be able to do that.
Building a house wasn't initially on the cards for former real estate agent Amanda. She'd bought the original 1930s house with the plan to convert it.
The property that was here before was about 1,500 square foot. It suffered from some subsidence, and we decided we were going to do a big extension.
Fixing the structural problems and building the extension would be a costly project. But Amanda then heard about the DIY House Builders Scheme, a tax break to help people building their own homes.
We were only going to keep 4 walls, so we decided rather than keeping those 4 walls, we would do a knockdown rebuild and save on the VAT.
Once planning permission came through, it took a year of blood, sweat and tears to build her dream home.
We were able to do the design completely ourselves, working alongside our architect.
6 years on, and for Amanda and her family, all that hard work has paid off.
The way that we have arranged our accommodation works perfectly for us as a family. We have the dream house.
At its heart is an open-plan living space and kitchen. Upstairs are those 6 bedrooms, and if anyone gets caught short, they are never less than a few seconds away from a bathroom, because there are 5 of them too. And when they aren't spending a penny, there's something here for the whole family.
We wanted to build a house that was a real entertaining house. We have a front living room, which is more of an adult room, come cinema room.
While the adults kick back and enjoy the latest flicks, the kids can hang out in their very own gaming room.
I think the space is what makes this house very special, and it flows and it works really well.
Although she loves the layout, Amanda is most proud of her decor.
I would say our style is very contemporary and modern. We wanted a home that was warm and welcoming, and with all the colours, I feel that we've created that, definitely.
Amanda's so proud of her vision, she's priming herself to become St Albans' answer to Lawrence Llewellyn Bowen.
I have got a huge passion for interior design, so I am currently in the process of doing a 3-year degree. I'm a year and a half into that. And then the future for me will be to build my own interior design company. There are things since doing the course that I probably haven't done correctly, but there's nothing drastic that I would change.
Well, we'll see what her neighbours have to say. Randa has been an interior designer for a quarter of a century. She's bound to have some opinions.
One thing in interior design that I don't like is when that space is beautiful, it's pretty, but it doesn't fit the people who live there. It still needs to be cozy, I think, just to kind of have that warmth of a family in a big house. It becomes more challenging.
Time for Amanda to scarper before these opinionated locals arrive.
I expect everyone in the house has been busily tidying up all weekend to make sure it's absolutely spotless before we arrive.
I am feeling very nervous. Having judges come into my home and judge my home, but equally I'm very excited. And I hope they love my home as much as we do.
I hope they've locked the wine cellar.
I think it's going to be quite modern in terms.
Yeah,
it's going to be modern. I think it's open plan, I think.
Yeah.
Open plan, modern space.
Yeah, minimalist, clean.
Wow, this is amazing.
Nice.
Oh, the lighting's so warm, it smells so nice and it looks so gorgeous.
First impressions are good. Kuldip, Randa and Dean head straight to the kitchen for a good nosy.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Okay. How cool is this? Open plan living. Straight from sink, cooker. Appliances. Well, I don't know how many people have such organised appliances in their kitchen. This is a brilliant use of space.
The quality of the cabinets and the countertop is gorgeous. I really like the wood and how they've used it here. It makes it so warm. Because it's such a big space, it's hard to make it feel cozy, yet it does feel cozy.
It's ticking all the right boxes for Randa. But practical Dean is looking at this room through his builder's goggles.
I'd have preferred if that looks like there's an RSJ running across here. If that was actually hidden in the ceiling space. It looks like, obviously, it's got a drop down. One of my pet hates would be if in the property there's like a structural support for a wall that is below the ceiling level. If they can avoid that, that would be great.
Upstairs, Olwyn and Emma have come across some contrasting decor in 11-year-old Jack's bedroom.
Oh, yeah.
lovely.
Must like his football in here, or her.
If there is one thing colour consultant Alwyn knows about, it's, well, colours.
Well, they've obviously used the football strip as the inspiration for this room, which is a nice, bright, fun colour for children.
Yeah.
I think that works well. Very, very tidy kids' room, isn't it?
Very tidy child, but that's probably because they've got all this storage space here.
And there's a little surprise waiting for them.
Oh, I love that. That's fun.
Oh, it's a Jack and Jill bathroom.
For those in the know, a Jack and Jill is a bathroom shared by 2 adjoining rooms.
Oh, they both support West Ham.
And sure enough, on the other side...
Oh, that's really
that's great.
cute,
That's
isn't
a
it?
really
I
nice
love this.
touch. I love that. Yeah.
And they've carried the same theme through.
Yeah.
With the colours and the colour of the wall.
That's a great use of space. That's a brilliant idea.
Look at that.
Sumptuous. I feel at home already.
Oh, I love that they have the candles on.
The cinema room is obviously a winner.
This is beautiful. I love this wall covering, and also against the height. This is beautiful.
It's very luxurious. Maybe one thing I would change is a little bit blingy. Probably just draw that back a little bit for my taste.
You know what? I really like it.
You might be on your own there, Culdip. Because once Randa tears herself away from the wallpaper, she starts to see things a little differently.
For me, it doesn't feel like a used living room. It feels a bit too staged. I mean, we sit down here. I mean, if I sit and I want to use that, watch television, I want to put my feet up. I don't think I can. I don't think I can put my feet up. I mean, it's lovely. It's lovely to entertain. I'll have lots of friends here and we'll watch stupid videos, no problem.
Do you mean that kind of homely factor?
That homely factor.
Wow, look at that.
Upstairs, the luxury factor is what's exciting Emma and Alwyn.
Oh my gosh.
It's amazing.
This is lovely. I did not expect this at all. I would definitely get out of bed a lot easier in the mornings for this.
It's the games room downstairs that gets Amanda's kids up in the morning.
Games room?
It's where kids can be kids.
Yeah.
And that's what you want.
The bonus of a big house is that even the kids can have their own space.
I like that this is messy and it all over the place. It just adds some character. Really nice. I love the children's artwork.
Randa's found that homely factor she was looking for.
I mean, I would frame that.
My boy would love this. That on a PlayStation, fantastic.
How about the boy in you?
Well, why not?
Would you like that?
Let's get a console on this one.
Oh, get it fired up.
Where's my headsets?
Don't get too comfortable, Culdip, because time is up. The nosy neighbours need to clear off before the homeowner returns. Time to reflect on the house's ambition, functionality, and wow factor.
Well, guys, what do you think about the new build?
Loved how airy and light it was in there, and I loved the initial hit of space. And the ambition. Each room was so opulent. I wasn't expecting it to be so luxurious.
The bedrooms were done for the children really nicely. You could tell that it was a home for a family.
It felt a bit staged for me.
Yeah.
It kind of felt put together, professionally almost.
That's the bit that really concerns me, is that would I be able to kick my shoes off and lounge back and be a little bit of a slob?
The new build has set the bar pretty high in the competition, but with 2 more houses to go, it's still all to play for. The next detached to snoop around is in the north of St Albans, in the village of Old Welling. There's been a settlement here since the Iron Age, unlike nearby Welling Garden City, which was founded in the 1920s. Woe betide anyone who confuses the two. The inhabitants here take great pride in Old Welling's 2,000-year-old heritage. The village is home to keen upcycler Heather and her carpenter husband Chris. They bought this 18th century lodge house as a renovation project in 2012 and live here with their teenage son, James.
I would describe the style of my house as being modern country. Yeah, I am really proud, but I don't want it to sound sort of smug. I love the house. I love the house. So this is our hobby.
This 300-year-old heritage home was ruined by a 1980s renovation. So Heather went back to the drawing board to create a contemporary family space that restored some of its 18th century features. On the ground floor, there's a large entrance hallway, a country-style kitchen, and an open-plan lounge. Upstairs, you'll find 4 bedrooms, along with 3 bathrooms. One 80s feature she found difficult to remodel was this: a super-sized fireplace.
Oh, the fireplace. I had a bit of a love-hate relationship with the fireplace. When we first came in, it was all bare brick. It had a horrible wooden surround around the hearth. I just felt it was too much like a pub. It looked like a pub. I just painted it. It's grown on me.
Renovating the house with her carpenter husband Chris has been a long-term project, with Heather sometimes wondering if it would ever come to an end.
Anybody that lives with a builder or someone that actually physically does painting, decorating, yeah, you never get anything finished. You know, he needs guidance. We've literally lived on site all the way along. We have literally spent a good 4 years solidly, weekends, taking the odd week off to actually do the major works.
The furniture choices reflect Heather's love of both new designs and upcycled pieces, one of which is her pride and joy and the corner piece of the living room.
I love my library. That's what I call it anyway. But yeah, it's a bookcase. Love the colour, and it took me ages to paint. That was the other thing. That was a bit of a labour of love, yeah.
Heather is intrigued as to what the judges will say about it.
I just hope they come in and think, wow. It would be nice, yeah, for someone to actually come in and say, it's really good.
Now, 4 years of Heather and her husband's hard work and determination is about to be put under the scrutiny of 5 complete strangers.
Nervous. So every day you have judges coming in to view your property.
If it's a period property, the one thing that I really like to see is that they've kept elements of the period features.
How much does that dictate the rest of the house?
Yeah.
I think it's important though to make it a home still.
But also to their coziness around some original features rather than keeping too many of them.
It needs to be a home, doesn't it?
And I love fireplaces. I want to see lots and lots of fireplaces.
Yeah.
That's really what I want to see.
Well, there's one you won't miss, Randa.
The fireplace might be split decisions, that's all really. So yeah, just a little nervous.
Quite traditional, isn't it? Yeah.
Real timber cladding.
Yeah, that's lovely.
Come on, let's see what we've got.
Oh my gosh, lovely and spacious.
It's a really nice entrance.
Oh, I love an entrance
It's a great, nice way to feel to come in. It's that partition between the outside and the inside, so you don't come straight into it.
Oh, the fireplace we were talking about. I love it.
Fireplace.
Now that is a feature fireplace.
That is beautiful.
I love how they've used the lighting inside there.
They've zoned it really nicely, haven't they, around the fire, so you can imagine sort of just talking to each other and having a nice conversation in here.
The 1980s fireplace is a roaring success with all the neighbours. Everyone is focused on it. Except Kuldip. His eyes are pulled elsewhere.
One of the things that kind of gets me is I can see with the glass table, I can see all the cables of the electronic. So you've got this beautiful period property, and then I look across and I see this stonking great plasma, and I can see all these cables, and it's just jarring me.
I think it's quite good though that the fireplace is definitely the feature of the room, and obviously everybody does watch television. And I can see what you're saying about the glass and that, but it isn't the main focus of the room. It's not what you see when you first come in. You see the fireplace and you see the view.
You're right.
So I think we all have TVs, and they haven't made it the main focus. So I quite like that.
Now it's the turn of Heather's pride and joy, her lovingly built library.
Yeah, I'm not so sure on the colour of the bookcase.
Library, Dean, it's a library.
I like the rest, but that seems to jump out a bit too much for me.
It just feels like it needs that bit of personal space to make it yours.
What I'd probably do is add in a reading light and a nice cosy reading chair over in this area,
that's
which
a nice
would
idea.
actually enable it to function really well as a reading area.
The library's been marked down for functionality. You could say Helen only has her shelf to blame. Culdip, Alwyn and Randa check out what's cooking in the kitchen.
Nice family kitchen.
Yeah, nice central social area.
I love the sink.
I was looking at that. This is just amazing, isn't it? Just an amazing sink.
And the work triangle is also good. So you're cooking, you're washing, it's perfect. And then you've got that surface. This is lovely.
Yeah, it is lovely.
I'm sure everyone congregates around that when they have people over.
It's all agreed the kitchen scores a Big 10 for functionality. But there's an element of surprise that doesn't go down well.
I feel these are a bit out of place though.
In what way?
In a way that it's too modern for a cottage-like kitchen. And I don't mind the colour, but it's the whole combination with that doesn't sit really well with me.
Could go with a natural.
More natural.
More like a wood-backed stool or something. Yeah, I agree, actually.
It was almost the perfect kitchen. But those stools have left Randa and Culdip seeing red. Upstairs, Builder Dean is about to come across some 18th century craftsmanship.
It's nice, isn't it? I like this original stud partition as well. That's a cool little feature to leave that in.
There were no en-suites 300 years ago. This is a modern addition.
Nice. Oh, wow, lovely shower.
Yeah.
That's lovely. And I like how it's got the skylight there. So you've got the natural light falling down into the shower as well.
Dean just can't help himself.
The skylight looks like that's a new addition, because that's unfinished at the moment. Yeah, I'm not so sure of the tiles. I'd say one thing from a kind of building perspective that kind of gets me a little bit, where they've added the skylight, it's given natural light from above, and now that means you can see the tiles are not fully flat. So that would bug me a little bit if I lived here.
After a fascinating lesson in good grouting from Dean, it looks like the tiles aren't the only thing that have glazed over. Soft furnishings are more Emma's thing.
Oh, wow, this is definitely the master bedroom.
So this is the master.
Wow, there's a lot of love right there.
Yeah, that's nice. Not so sure what Culdip will be thinking of the artwork, but...
I think he'll have something to say.
Maybe.
I'm going to recognise most of these artists anyway, because I've probably dealt with them at some stage.
Culdip's not so bothered about the artwork, because something else on the walls is ticking him off.
Not sure on the clock. I've got a big thing about clocks. I think we've got so many devices that tell us what the time is. I don't think we need any more reminders about what time it is. We want to chill, relax.
Best move on before Culdip gets too wound up. There's still time for the neighbours to have one last snoop around. While Dean checks for drafts, Randa's found something small and practical.
Pebble floors, wet room. Oh, that's lovely.
I like the flooring.
I do like
actually
the
love
flooring.
that.
Having the non-slip is sometimes a bit tricky,
Can you
but
see?
doing it
Yeah.
like that.
I like the way it's open, and they've just used the entirety of the space as a wet room. This is brilliant.
It's brilliant. And look, they've got the shampoo on the back of the door, which is a great idea for this sort of room.
This is such an unexpected surprise.
And in the house's third bathroom, there's another surprise in store for Emma.
I really like that. I love to see refinished
pieces in people's homes. It's nice to see how things can blend in without them necessarily having to be of the same era or style.
What is that? Is that something from would normally be in the kitchen?
Yeah, so that would have stood on top of a cupboard.
Right.
But whatever, they've customised it, haven't they?
It's nice.
I love
It's nice.
that.
It's a good kind of
That's
focal
really
point.
thoughtful, yeah.
Time's up in this renovated country lodge.
Oh, that was lovely.
Yeah, really nice.
Really nice.
It felt really nice and cosy, comfortable. I really liked that.
They'd kept a lot of the character in that house and they'd made it suitable for modern living. I thought they did it really well.
There's one point everyone agrees on.
Those red stalls inside the kitchen, I really thought they'd have gone for something with a much more period or country feel to it.
They did not plan this house with furniture in mind. They brought in whatever they had from a previous house. To me, that was where it lost a bit of stars, right there.
There's one more detached house to see before any final decisions can be made, and the neighbours are now making their way to the north of the city.
I really want to see kind of a house that's been driven by design, so something really, really different.
That's what I want, to be blown away. We want something that's like, oh, I can't believe they did that.
Let's hope the last home of the day lives up to their high expectations. The housing boom in the early 1970s saw a swathe of detached houses spring up across the UK. These properties are now the jewel in the crown for those with growing families. Full-time parent Chrissy's home is an example of what keen renovators can do with these 50-year-old builds.
I live here with my husband Paul and our 2 children, Eden and Archie. We set out to try and find a house that we could do up. I don't think we ever anticipated how big a job it was going to be.
After buying the place 4 years ago, it took a while before work could even get started.
It took so long to get the planning permission that I ended up pregnant, and then I had another baby. Okay. Day 1. This is what it looks like today.
This is what the house looked like when they bought it. And today, it's this. The whole ground floor was gutted. Chrissy then extended it, creating a large, open-plan living space. Upstairs, there are 4 bedrooms and a family bathroom.
What started off as something ambitious turned into the biggest project ever. We had to keep the front and the side walls, redesigned the inside using the existing supporting walls, and then extending it. So we were able to extend it by 40%.
Chris's dream was to try and make the kitchen and living area feel as if it merged into the garden.
So one of the favourite things that I love the most about the downstairs and the open plan is being able to fold back everything. So we wanted to have it as inside outside as we could. So all of the doors fold back, but also the window does. So it's a bifold window. So when it's a hot day, you can slide the whole window back.
The focal point of the open plan is the enormous worktop. Having it custom made from polished concrete rather than marble or granite allowed Chrissy to keep costs down.
The kids use it all the time for doing homework, for drawing and painting, but also eating their meals. So it's been brilliant.
In all this openness, there are some hidden surprises.
The little reading nook's been brilliant, and the kids love it, and they're often in there just reading books, or the dog's in there with them, and they're playing games, and the dog sleeps in there loads.
Chrissy wants to show off her house, but there's one room she's less confident about.
I didn't think anyone would ever see our bedroom, so we just went for what we thought we would like to have. My favourite colour is green, so I really wanted to do a dark green somewhere in the house. I had selected the green and we had bought all the paint, and then the builder was upstairs with the painter and the electrician was in. There was quite a few of us there, and they kept saying, "Are you sure that you want to do this green? Are you sure that you definitely want this colour on all 4 walls, and I was like, yes, I do. Please do it. So, yeah. And now everyone's going to see it. Yay, thank you. Here we go, Eden. Can you put that one in there? Here. Yeah, that one there. That's it.
For Chrissy, this is the perfect family home.
I'm hoping to see something that looks really quite spectacular, but also to have lots of elements of personality so you can see that the person actually lives there and it's a family home.
We love our house, and so I'm proud of it, and so I'm happy to show it off to people.
I've got 5 judges coming to look at the house and I feel a bit nervous. It'd be interesting to see what the judges might think about the bedroom. I just hope they like it.
Whoa. Can you see?
I love it.
Really nice.
I love the porch, and I've seen the floor inside, and it's gorgeous.
Yes, I like the welcome mat.
So we're going to have a look inside?
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, wow.
The group is immediately drawn to the open plan area.
Lovely.
Concrete worktop.
Love the worktops.
This just feels like an amazing family room. It's what a great use of space.
What's also nice is the first impression you walk in, you feel welcome.
Homely box ticked veranda.
Check this out.
Oh,
look
wow.
at that pantry.
All of the clutter and all the stuff you don't want to see. That's a cool use of storage, isn't it?
Yeah, really cool.
You've got this beautiful seating with cushioning. The distance between the individuals that will be seated and eating to the individual who'll be cooking is so minimal that it's very, very inclusive. This is clearly a space where a family can have fun.
And I love that we've got the sort of industrial polished concrete worktop, and then over here we've got the vintage cupboard alongside Scandinavian chairs. I love it. This is my perfect example of not matching but mixing.
Mixing and working together, and simple.
No support beam spoiling the view for Dean here.
This is obviously part of an extension, but you cannot tell where the extension starts and where it ends. The ceiling is flat, it runs all the way through. Even above the doors, there's no kind of down drop for the steels. Really nice, it runs through.
Eagle-eyed Dean has spotted Chris's beloved bifolds.
Something I've just noticed is that those windows over there are actually bifolding. So those windows can open completely up and all of that space is open.
Oh, that is...
Really?
Yes, I didn't notice that.
And along the windowsill there, having the plants there brings the outside in a bit.
Not distracted by windows, art dealer Culdip has his own theory about the open space.
I think that this space is slightly bereft and a bit vacuous relative to all of the objects and elements over there.
However, if you kind of open those doors up, it kind of brings this area to life, you know? It makes this area become usable space then. It kind of brings the outside inside.
The challenge with that, though, is that then just becomes a transition space from the inside to the outside. You've got the wood flooring, you have nothing between that front door and that window.
A transition space?
I don't think you need it. For me, personally. I think...
I like the access to the outside. Like, you walk in and you're invited right away, and having something obscuring that space would not give you that same feeling.
Oh, this is getting tense. We need a distraction, quick! Oh, there's a swingy chair in the corner.
Lovely chair, look at that.
Yay, fab, I love that.
I'll twist you around. Do you want me to twist you around?
Oh, the neighbours are playing nicely again. But there's no time to hang about. They need to explore every nook and cranny of this home.
This is a nice space, isn't it?
It's really nice and
Really cute.
And I love how the staircase is a feature of out here because of this.
That so easily could have just been storage and been a bit wasted, but the seat is really cool.
Thumbs up for what's under the stairs, but upstairs Chris's controversial green bedroom is about to be exposed.
I'm not sure this really works for me, to be honest.
I don't understand. Accent a couple of walls. Love the colour, maybe a little bit too much for me.
I wouldn't have chosen it for a bedroom, but if I did, I would put a lot on the wall so you only see a little bit of it.
That's really rather large and heavy objects above the headboard. I don't know how heavy it is, but it looks almost dangerous. I wouldn't want to be sleeping beneath that with that potentially falling on me.
This might be Chris's dream bedroom, but for Randa and Culdip, it's a nightmare.
I don't get it.
No, I'm not sure this is, and I'm not sure this fits in, and this, to be honest.
Is this peach? I can't quite tell.
I
Is
think
it peach
it's
or
pink.
white?
It's pink.
Pink and green? I'm sorry, at the moment, the wall is screaming way too much.
Way too much.
Downstairs, Dean is picking up on some strange noises.
I can hear the guys upstairs and hear the creaking floorboards, and I don't know about you, but for me, that'd be a bit off-putting if I could hear people walking around upstairs. Some people like that, but for me, it kind of be a little bit frustrating hearing crunching floorboards.
Luckily, you don't have to put up with it anymore, Dean, because time's up in the final property.
That house, to me, really demonstrated a confidence with their decorating and their interior styling. They clearly have a really good eye.
But bringing the outside in was gorgeous. That corner window really brought in a lot into the house. As if you're sitting outside, really.
Yeah, and especially
with that
the
chair. Exactly.
Yeah.
Really well done.
I thought the downstairs certainly outweighed the upstairs.
I actually feel that in the bedroom, less would have been more. For me, the overuse of the heavy green felt and elements of claustrophobia. The walls just came in on me.
I think maybe in a bedroom they were trying to get a cocoon type feel and to make it feel cosy.
I honestly did not think that was the right colour for that room.
After a day of seeing some of the extraordinary achievements of these proud St Albans homeowners, the 5 neighbours now have to decide which detached property they want to vote for.
So that's it, that's all 3?
That's all 3.
They need to consider the judging criteria. How ambitious is their style and design? And has it created a functional home? And finally, is there a wow factor?
And now, I guess we need to remind ourselves a bit about them and then come to a decision.
I know what I chose.
The 6-bedroom new build impressed the judges with its functionality.
Well, I don't know how many people have such organised appliances in their kitchen. This is a brilliant use of space.
It had all the mod cons in the house. It was very up to date and modern.
Oh, look at that.
Sumptuous. Crisp, very contemporary, luscious, spacious. Quite an impressive property.
Some of the design choices were challenging.
Maybe one thing I would change is a little bit blingy.
For me, it doesn't feel like a used living room. It feels a bit too staged. I want to put my feet up. I don't think I can. It felt curated, that house.
But its opulent style also found its fan base.
Oh my gosh. I would definitely get out of bed a lot easier in the mornings for this.
100% I'd love to win. It would be amazing. I think I'd probably end up crying.
The country lodge house had been lovingly renovated following a 1980s disaster refurb.
Oh, the fireplace we were talking
Oh my gosh,
about. I love it.
Fireplace.
Now that is a feature
Beautiful.
fireplace.
That is feature.
Yeah.
It is also quite functional. You can see that this house has been lived in. They cook, they entertain, they use the dining. It's used, and I really like that about it.
But some of its modern elements weren't to everyone's taste.
I feel these are a bit out of place, though.
In what way?
In a way that it's too modern for a cottage-like kitchen.
For me, a lot of disconnect between the objects that were inside there, and I didn't really get a sense of what the vibe was.
While some were.
Pebble floors, wet room.
This is such an unexpected surprise.
Do you know, it'd be lovely. I suppose it's recognition again. It'd be nice. It'd be nice to win. I don't think I've ever won anything, so yeah, it would be nice.
The open plan 1970s redesign was a hit for the judges downstairs, both for its functionality and clever design.
This just feels like an amazing family room. It's what a great use of space.
But the master bedroom was a different story.
At the moment, the wall is screaming way too much.
Way too much. I felt that bedroom was an unfinished project.
And Dean felt some issues had been neglected.
I can hear the guys upstairs and hear the creaking floorboards, and I don't know about you, but for me, that'd be a bit off-putting.
But the joy of the place was contagious.
Fab, I love that.
I'll twist you around. Do you want me to twist you around?
No!
I feel really proud of what we've managed to do, and just to have the chance to do it, it's been amazing.
The neighbours will be voting for the homeowner they think showed the most ingenuity, not the one who spent the biggest bucks.
I think it's really difficult to choose between the three properties because they are all beautiful.
I know which one I'm going to choose, and I knew it when I walked in. It did let me down in some spaces, but overall, I know which one is the winner.
All of these homes are testament to the owner's commitment to creating their own unique castle, no matter the size or budget.
100% I'd love to win, but equally I do appreciate there are lots of other beautiful homes in the area.
We've enjoyed doing it, and it would be nice to have some sort of, I don't know, bit of a recognition, you know, that we have done a good job.
Oh, it would be lovely. It would be lovely to win.
But only one of them can triumph.
Well, we've got choices to make, guys.
It's unanimous. The winner is the 1970s open plan.
No way! You're kidding. I was not expecting that at all. Okay. I might even get a bit teary. I can't believe it. I can't believe other people think that the house is really nice. It's not just me.
The first impression you walk in, you feel welcome.
I love it.
The open plan house will be back to compete against 3 other category winners for the final of St Albans Best House in Town. Next time.
No, I did not expect
It looks really nice.
Our squad of St Albans judges
You just want to kiss it.
will be visiting 3 category-defying wildcard properties.
I hope it's that one.
As their proud owners throw open their doors to show how thinking outside the box
Do you know what? I think we could all learn a trick or two from this.
has created their perfect dream home.